But let's go over the setups. Look at gold. The first thing you do when you first log in, our methodology is very simple, very complex system because we use market profile, but very simple to execute the entries. It's as simple as knowing how to execute a number 1 trade, a number 2 trade, and a number 3 trade. I'm one of the only traders in the world that's really made this simple for everybody. I call it market profile for dummies, right? Because I needed something where I had to wrap my head around. I needed something very simple for myself to know where these turning points are based upon market profile. We all know Peter Stoudemire is the brains behind market profile. No one can take credit for market profile, but Peter back in 1985 and then 1994, we're actually working with Pete now and Steve on developing volume strips currently. So he's a brain trust behind all this stuff. But what I've done is I made it simple where it's a simple format on how to trade it with only 3 simple setups. And here's what we do. For some of you trials in the room, I'm on gold right now, and I'll move over to oil in a second. And I'll show you how these members in the room already captured over 50 ticks just in the matter of 45 minutes since the market's been open. Typically, we're done before 9:30 in the morning, New York Open. You need to trade this from 7:45 to 10:45 only. The misconception with a lot of day traders is they want to sit down with the S&P, the Russell 2000, NASDAQ futures, or what have you, trade this from 9:30 all the way to 4. That's not what you can do. You can come in here, 7:45 Eastern Standard Time, trade at 10:45 like the core of my members do. The majority of my members are 6-month to 3-year to 3.5-year members in the room, and they only look for these 3 top setups. So from 7:45 to 10:45 is what we need to concentrate on, and that's what we do in the room. A lot of traders logged in, and we're ready to go. Now what we do is when we first log in, we look at these 2 5-minute charts. I'm on gold right now. These are your 2 most charts you're going to trade off of. There's a setup chart and there's an entry chart. The ninja chart means absolutely nothing to me until I get a setup on my 5-minute chart. You must master my 5-minute chart in the room, or you cannot trade my system. You cannot trade my methodology. These are 2 5-minute charts. You see a big one with the moving averages on it, and then you see at the bottom left, you'll see another 5-minute chart that has my volume market profile on it. This volume market profile just called the exact high in gold. It called the high in oil just a minute ago. And I'm going to show you how to do this. It's a very simple technique. In fact, I tell traders all the time, if you come in my trading room and you just want to be very, if you want to pinpoint and have great accuracy in my room and a great start right away, all you need to do is you need to trade a number 1 trade. 1 trade setup is all you need to focus on every single day in this trading room. Just one of the setups, just one. It's called my number 1 trade. Now, what is it? It just happened on calling the high on crude. That's how you guys and gals got that big trade this morning. You members, in fact, let me ask my members right now. Who all got on the oil or gold short? Just give me a Y if you got on the oil gold short this morning. Both Earl, Dimitri, Ray, Shelly, TK, Santosh, John, Paul, Tim, Kwame. You guys are off to a great start this morning. Yulin, good job. These are the traders that are Dave, good job. Matt, Tim. These are the traders that pull the trigger because they're not afraid to pull the trigger because they know the setups are successful, right? We have a high probability trade every time we come into HVA. Now let me show you how to trade this. If you look on the 5-minute chart, and Gerald's recording this so you understand how to do it. If you look at the 5-minute chart, that's the first thing you look at. We got the trend chart. That's the first thing you look at when you first log in. The 5-minute. Okay, the 5 minutes in a hard downtrend. So what do? If the 5 minutes in a hard downtrend, you first look at that magenta MA. I don't care about this ninja chart. I look at this 5-minute trend chart. I need to establish whether the market is trending or it's in range. The market can only do 2 things. It can trend on me or it can range or chop on me. That's all it can do. So I mean it goes vertical or it goes sideways. And that's all I need to do when I first log in. I don't care about anything else. I look at that magenta moving average. If I'm angled down 35 to 45 degree angle and my white moving average is parallel with it, meaning if there's spread between it, it looks like a car driving down through the middle of your chart, I know one thing. I only take shorts. There have been 0 longs to take, nil. There has been absolutely no trades at all to take long. If you're trading my system correctly, you have not taken 0 longs on gold or oil since 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time this morning. None. Why? If you look at this gold chart, the magenta moving average has been down. I'll go over to crude oil in a second. Magenta moving average has been down. So what does my number one trade say to do? I want to sell high value area. I want to sell these red dots at the bottom left of my chart where the volume is, resting volume, or possible resting sell orders are at, or I want to sell up here at my hedge fund, which is the dashed line. Either way is a number one trade setup. So I want to sell the number one setup, which is a retest of my high value area. My volume is in the bottom left chart. My price chart is in the middle. So it told me I got resting possible volume short at 1469.40. And then I got my hedge fund, which is a red dashed line here at the same level. So when the market retraced up here, right after 7:45 this morning, after 8 o'clock this morning, I got into my HVA in a downtrend. And guess what happened? You know it. If you look at my JayExtension short, I give you the exact delta to use. I give you the exact confluence to use. It was absolutely phenomenally on fire yesterday on gold and also oil with trend. Traders just really banked it from all the charts I got yesterday. Good job, traders. But if you look at this chart, check that chart out. Check that chart out. Click on it. And what you see when you pull that chart up, you see the red dot popped up right here, right exactly here at the HVA. Right exactly on it. We had the exact same trades yesterday with trend. So I got the red dot that popped up right there. Now, if you guys and gals don't have JayExtension, it works on all markets. I don't care if you trade the S&P. I don't care if you trade silver. I don't care if you trade the Russell 2000. Gerald has charts. If you need to see them in other markets on this, it's $150 per month lease. You don't have, there's no obligation after the first month. If you don't like my exact settings that I give you and the exact delta that I use in all the markets you trade or gold or oil, simply use it for a month and then we'll turn it right back off for you. If you like it and you want to purchase it for a lifetime, we apply the lease to the purchase, and once that lease is applied to the purchase, it's yours for life. And you use it on all markets. Okay, I currently run it on 13 different markets. All right, so the bottom line is that JayExtension dot fired right exactly at the high. And you want to use the JayExtension with 5-minute trend. And you want to be on support and resistance when that puppy fires off. And it's that simple. Okay? Got to be very, very simple technique. But we have a number one sell, the very simple technique. You just need to trade one setup in my room. Learn my number one setup. Forget about everything else and then build your trading plan around the number one setup. Right there is a number one that called the high right there. Right there on gold. Okay? Okay, now let's look at the other two setups that happened before that. We know that if we're in a downtrend, that we want to do what? We want to do a number two or number three. A number two requires symmetry dots, meaning the 89 tick over here, if it breaks symmetry dots at key LVA areas. Well, the symmetry dots, okay, we're exactly at the LVA area that we broke down with the number two, and the number three is just a retest of the number two breakdown after you break through LVA. So we had all three setups that happened, a number two, a number one, and a number three today on gold. But I want to really focus this one right here. My focus is right here. I'm going to blow this up. My focus is on a number one trade setup, because if you can focus on just one setup in my room, when you're in a downtrend, you sell the first test of HVA. If you're in an uptrend, you buy the first test of LVA, and you use my 89 tick to qualify the trade. And how you qualify it is this. You qualify it by having the JayExtension on your own charts. You don't need the JayExtension, right? You don't have to have it. But it's great on your own Ninja charts because it fired the dot right up exactly at the high on this move with trend. But if you look at it, I look for two possible candlesticks that always likes to pop up. It's usually around 80 to 85% on tops and bottoms. It's a spinning top or a doji. And if you look, when we come into the HVA, look at this candlestick. Look how beautiful this candlestick is. That is a spinning top. It looks like a little box with equal wicks on both sides. Or a doji. It looks like a plus sign. And that tells me I reached the HVA at 1469.40, and consequently I had a doji or spinning top, and that told me to look for a red bar reversal. And once I get that red bar reversal, I let it close and I open it up at the next bar. And when I open up the next bar, I already got an ATM hard stop in of 13 ticks. Okay, 13 to 15 ticks. Some traders use 13, some use 15. It's up to you. And then I already know I got an automated exit at 10 ticks. And then I scale up my symmetry dots, which are my blue dots below. Okay? But when you reach that level of HVA, look at your bottom indicator. What's that bottom indicator used for? This market that we trade today is a supply-controlled market. It is not a demand-based market. It's a supply-controlled market. So if we have more supply at the highs, we go lower. If we have less supply at the lows like here, we go higher. So when you reach an HVA or an LVA on a retracement trade on number one setup, I want you to look at that oscillator below. And I want you to ask yourself, am I setting a lower high with less supply or more supply to bring it down? Or if you come down support, am I having less supply, a higher low at support? Look at the spinning top that called the low here with that also. So my point is that you qualify to trade with the 89 tick chart only after the 5-minute chart has set the trade up. Gerald, go to crude, please. Let's look at the crude trade. We'll shut this off. Let's look at crude oil. Crude oil calls the exact high also with HVA already in the morning session. If you look at crude oil, we are in a downtrend. The magenta MA is in a downtrend. So what do? We only take shorts, no longs. Anybody that took longs on their blotter, you're absolutely wrong about trading price action this morning on gold or oil. You've been absolutely not in tune with what the market's doing. What you have to do is you have to look at the magenta MA. There is at a 35 to 45 degree angle. You got to look at the white MA. Do we have a spread between the MAs and are they crossed down? Yes. So what do? We only look for number one shorts. What do? Let the market retrace to the HVA. Look at my bottom left chart. You only trade off the 2 5-minute charts to set the trade up. Look at my bottom left chart. Bottom left chart says HVA sitting right up here. We retrace to the HVA. That's my number one setup and also a retest of my 5-minute roller. My rollers are the blue and red lines. You break them with trend, you retest them with trend, that's a setup. Not only do we have a 62 retest short, we have an HVA retest short. Consequently, that was also moving average confluence. So what do you do over here? You look for the same exact setup. Do we have a lot of supply up there on the retest of HVA? Yes. Look at the bottom oscillator, lower high. Same old boring setup we did all in 2012, 2013. The same number one trade at HVA called the exact high in oil and gold again this morning. What happens? Do we have a qualification bar? Yes. Spinning top right exactly at the high on the green bar. Okay. I'm sorry, a hammer right exactly top of the bar. Spinning top, hammer or doji. 85% is a spinning top or a doge. Then you get the red reversal bar. There's your scale. Then we come down, and what I taught you yesterday was this. I spent almost 2 hours on this yesterday teaching you how to trade price action. And I said this. I said if you're in a downtrend and these are my symmetry dots, you want to play the rejections off these symmetry dots. And Jacob, congratulations by paying attention to me yesterday. Because what it shows you is this. If I come down and it rejects off these symmetry dots, I come from a balanced to an imbalanced market. So I know that if I'm in between the market profile, the symmetry dots, my 89 tick, we have these for Ninja 2 if you want them. A lot of the members already have these for their own charts to catch the number 2 breakdown and also the scale and to see if it's balanced or imbalanced. So we know that's a balanced market. But we know once we get below symmetry in a downtrend, we become imbalanced. Imbalance equals speed, and that's where we get some good trades. So not only that, you got this big imbalanced trade here. Imbalanced. Just exactly how I showed you yesterday in all those trades yesterday. How I projected that short yesterday for you guys. It worked out great. There's an imbalanced trade, but check this one out up here too. Look at this imbalanced short right here. Gorgeous. Look at the rejection. It got rejected in a downtrend. Here's your rejection. Look at your rejection right there. Rejected off of that. That's those counter trend traders trying to get long. All those counter trend traders keep losing their money, refilling their account. Losing their money, refilling their account. They're not knowledgeable enough how to trade this, so they provide liquidity for us. We don't counter trend trade the market. There's the there's the balanced market. Imbalanced. There's the imbalance. So the symmetry dots right there. 2 big symmetry dot entries right there. 2 of them with trend. Both of them got rejected just like I showed you how to do yesterday. Check that out. So not only did we catch the number 1 high here, guys, not only did we catch the number 1 high on gold and also oil with trend on number 1, you had 2 rejection imbalances right here to short. 1, 2, both of them back to back.